Secret trick to change KeyDIY Audi 754J frequency from 315 MHz to 434/868 MHz. Hey everyone, this is Hussain, and I welcome you back to Baabji Motors, your ultimate garage for car diagnostics, ECU programming, and automotive tech mastery. Before we dive into today's topic, here's a quick but important note. This video is strictly for educational and informational purposes only. Everything we discuss or demonstrate here is meant to guide technicians, learners, and passionate enthusiasts in understanding automotive technology more deeply. All images, clips, and references belong to their respective owners and are used under fair use for review and education. Always make sure to follow your local regulations and manufacturer guidelines when working on vehicles. Now, let's start with a question that might have bugged many of you in the automotive coding community. Have you ever wondered why your KeyDIY Audi 754J smart key doesn't work properly after programming, even though everything looks right? Well, the answer might just lie in something as tiny as a capacitor. Stick around till the end, because today we're uncovering how to change your KeyDIY Audi 754J key's frequency from its default 315 MHz to either 434 MHz or 868 MHz. And trust me, the process is simpler than most people think. So let's roll up our sleeves and decode this step by step. Let's start with the basics. The KeyDIY DZ-754J is a special keyless go smart keyboard made specifically for Audi vehicles that use the 5th generation BCM2 immobilizer system. This means it's not your regular aftermarket key. It's a dedicated module built for the Audi lineup, designed to communicate seamlessly with the vehicle's onboard security system. Now, here's something most people miss. By default, the DZ-754J key operates at 315 MHz. However, depending on your region or the specific Audi model you're working on, you might need to adjust that frequency to 434 MHz or 868 MHz. Different markets, different frequencies, just like how some countries drive on the left side of the road, while others drive on the right. Here's the best part. Even though the key is a dedicated type, it doesn't require any pre-generation process with tools like KeyDIY KD, X4, or KD Max before programming. That's right, it comes ready to go. But once you program it to a car, it locks permanently and can't be reused. So if you're planning to experiment, make sure to do all your frequency adjustments before pairing it to the vehicle. Otherwise, you'll just have a very expensive piece of plastic in your hand. And let's be honest, it won't even open your fridge. Now, the million-dollar question, how do you actually change the frequency? Let's begin with changing the DZ-754J key to 434 MHz. The process is surprisingly simple. You just need to replace the capacitor located in the 433 MHz area of the circuit board. That's it. No software, no coding wizardry. Just good old-fashioned hardware adjustment. Think of it like tuning a guitar. Change the right string, and suddenly the whole song sounds better. Next up, if you want to change the frequency to 868 MHz, here's what you'll need to do. Locate the two capacitors on the key circuit board and replace both of them with capacitors valued at 0.5 picofarads, PF. These two tiny components are the heart of the signal frequency tuning. Once replaced correctly, your key will operate perfectly at 868 MHz, ready for European models or any car system that requires that specific frequency range. Now, if you're new to soldering or handling small electronic components, take a deep breath. This isn't rocket science, but it does require a steady hand and a bit of patience. Using a magnifying lens, precision tweezers, and a temperature-controlled soldering iron can make your job a lot easier. And remember, it's always better to practice on a scrap board before touching the real one. Trust me, you don't want to accidentally melt your 754J into a modern art sculpture. Another quick tip, always verify the frequency after making the change. You can use tools like the KeyDIY frequency tester or even certain universal remotes that display RF signals to confirm your output. A proper check ensures your key isn't transmitting ghost frequencies that confuse your car's receiver. Here's an interesting fun fact. The reason different markets use different frequencies like 315 MHz for 134 MHz or 868 MHz is due to radio regulations. For example, 315 MHz is standard in North America, while 434 MHz is common in Asia and some European regions, and 868 MHz is mostly used in Europe. So, when you're tuning your key, you're basically adapting it to speak your car's local language. And since we're all friends here, here's a little automotive joke for you. Why did the smart key go to school? Because it wanted to improve its frequency of learning. All right, I'll stick to key programming and not comedy, but you get the point. So, by carefully replacing those capacitors, you can successfully transform your KeyDIY DZ-754J key from its original 315 MHz frequency to either 434 MHz or 868 MHz, depending on your vehicle's requirements. It's a small modification that makes a big difference in performance and compatibility. And that brings us to the end of today's guide. Remember that question from the start? Why some Audi keys fail even after correct programming? Well, now you know it's often due to mismatched key frequency. By making this tiny adjustment, you ensure perfect communication between the key and your vehicle's BCM2 system. In my opinion, this is one of the most underrated tweaks every automotive technician should know. It saves time, prevents unnecessary replacements, and helps you understand the electronics behind the key's operation. So next time someone says, "My Audi key won't sync," you can smile and say, "Check your frequency first." Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever tried changing a key frequency yourself? Or do you prefer using preset keys? Share your thoughts, stories, or even your own tricks in the comments below. Before you go, here's a quick fun fact. Some high-end manufacturers are experimenting with adaptive frequency smart keys that can automatically adjust between 315, 434, and 868 MHz without any manual changes. Imagine that. One key to rule them all. If you found this video helpful or learned something new, let's make this episode go viral. Smash that like button and help us hit our goal of 10,000 likes and 1,000 comments. Hype this video to boost it up the YouTube leaderboard, and don't forget to subscribe to Baabji Motors for more real-world automotive programming tutorials. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and, as always, happy diagnosing.